Hello, welcome everybody back to another edition of Camp's Chats on the Farm. This week's topic is titled, We Must First Learn to Be Selfish Before We Can Be Selfless. Now, before you tune me out and think, oh, what does that even mean? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. I want you to understand something. It's really easy for people a lot of times to mask the need for themselves because they are looking to help others. And I'm included in that group as well. So oftentimes we look past the needs of ourselves. And what got me to thinking about this was, as a firefighter paramedic, it's well known that when we get on the scene, we have to take a few steps to make sure we're safe before we can help someone else. We have to make sure the scene is safe, and we have to use our own personal protective equipment, whether that be turnouts or gloves or glasses, depending on what the call is. And why is that? Why is that? Well, it's because if we become part of the problem, we're not able to help anybody else. So we have to be safe. We have to be taken care of. We have to be healthy. And I want to stay with the analogy of firefighting for just a second. Stay with me because this is important. There are three things that you require, three things you need to be whole and that you should focus on a daily basis. That is called the mind, the body, and the soul. The mind, the body, and the soul. Those three things are very important, and all three have to be in tune in order for you to be a complete person, to be the best version of you. Because when you're the best version of you, that's how you're going to help other folks. And putting that into an analogy and to compare that to firefighting, we have what's called the fire tetrahedron. There are three things that must be present in order to have fire. You must have oxygen, you must have a fuel source, and you must have sustained heat. Without any one of those three things, you simply cannot have sustained combustion. You cannot have fire. You must have oxygen, you must have something for it to burn, and it has to stay hot. Without any of those three things, you take one of those ingredients away, you don't have fire. And I started thinking about how could that be applied to us? Well, if your mind is not whole, but you have a sound body, and you're good with your soul, you're still not a complete person. You're not gonna have the fire you need. If you don't have the right health, if you're not in a good physical state, but your mind and soul is in the right place, you are not gonna be able to be a good physical presence to others. You must remain on all three ingredients at all times. And that's hard to do. That's hard to do because a lot of times what we end up doing is we focus a lot on one ingredient or even maybe two ingredients, but it's so critical to have three. You cannot have fire if you do not have all three. You cannot have passion and you cannot have an impact the way you could have on others if you don't have all three. So your mind, your body, and soul, they all must be in tune. You got to focus on all three every day. I want you guys to think about this. I'm going to make my messages a little shorter, a little bit more direct, and hopefully I'm going to help some folks along the way. So think about that next time. What ingredients do you have? Do you have all three ingredients? If not, you need another one. Maybe you need two to make that fire burst into flames, baby. Let's do this. All right, Motivate with Coach Camp. That's all I've got this week. I've got some good stuff coming up next week as well. It's going to kind of go in line with this one now. So we're going a little bit of a different direction. Hope you guys continue to like, share. Go to my YouTube channel. Man, let's do this, baby. Woo! Awesome. Great to see y'all. See you next week. Be good to each other.